Hello, Planet Earth. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. You've reached IDK, my BFF Jill 730, and today we're going to do another Buffy review. Now, today I'm reviewing Buffy Season 10, Issue number 8, and it is Return to Sunnydale, Part 1. And I knew as soon as I picked this issue up I was going to have to review it, because it makes a very bold claim. This is going to be inverted, but it says, starting point for new readers, and I think that's a very bold claim, and I'm here to talk to you about it. So, what's been going on in Season 10? Well, as you know, if you watched my last video about the Scythe and its influence and impact on the Buffy universe, you know that Willow recreated a new Seed of Wonder, which means that there is a new kind of magic being incorporated into the Buffy universe, and the only possession that Giles left to Buffy, God rest his soul, even though he's resurrected now, was this book. The same book that he slams down in the library in the very first episode of the series. The one that says vampire, but it's spelled vampire with a Y. So, this book goes blank after Willow recreates magic. And so, essentially, what we're doing this season is we are rewriting the rules of magic. Now, D'Hoffryn and some other high, powerful demon and magical entities have a high council of sorts that has dwindled since the events of Season 9. Pardon me. But essentially, Buffy, the newly resurrected teenage Giles, and Willow, Xander, Dawn, and Spike are basically protecting the book and rewriting the rules of magic. And this has already had some pretty awful consequences thus far through the season, and today it's getting worse. So, all of our characters are now living in the same apartment complex, except for Andrew. Andrew is living in a different apartment building. But the book that is the new magic rule book is being kept in Xander and Spike's apartment rather than Buffy, Dawn, and Willow's, because Willow has yet to beef up all the magical protection spells in their apartment. And so at the beginning of this issue, we find that the book, which was with Xander and Spike in their apartment, has gone missing. And we don't really know how or why it is. And everybody's pretty much pointing fingers at each other. And Buffy just can't believe that Spike and Xander were this dumb to let such an important relic just go missing on their watch. But we find out that it's, of course, been taken by Andrew, who always has the best ideas, right? Well, Andrew has taken the book, and so Willow and Giles perform a locator spell on the book itself, and they see that Andrew is headed to what used to be Sunnydale. And it also happens to be Halloween. So at the crater that used to be Sunnydale, outside of it are, just a bunch of fun-loving young folks who are celebrating Halloween down at the Hellmouth. Now, we get the backstory on a demon who is presumably an old one. It's not made entirely clear if he's actually an old one or not, but he had a history of just killing and massacring and eating the souls of humans and all this fun stuff. But he fell in love with this other nasty, tentacly demon lady. And so, whatever, this ancient slayer came along, killed his lady-loved, squiddy girlfriend and incapacitated him for God knows how long. And when he woke up, centuries, eons, however long later, he wants revenge against the Slayer. Now, I'm kind of unclear, but I'm pretty sure he's some kind of old one who died, and now he has found a way back onto our plane. And so he's not as massive as he ought to be. And it's explained that being on this plane and reconfiguring himself has actually changed his physicality. But if he absorbs enough soul energy, it makes him larger and stronger and more powerful. So he comes and just starts killing all these nice young people who are just trying to have fun on Halloween. Now, it's important to note that Halloween in Buffy, come on, you know, the demons and the vampires, they don't like Halloween, they stay in, they think it's cheap and cheesy, and they don't like being made fun of, so they ignore the holiday. It's an anti-holiday for them. And you would think that demons, vampires, such, would just love Halloween, but no, they think it's lame. So essentially, we follow Andrew, who has the magic book. We follow him down into the crater that was Sunnydale, and he comes upon this base. Apparently, the trio is a lot smarter than they ever gave us any reason to believe, because apparently they had some secret bases around the town of Sunnydale, and one was, like, very well underground. And so, Andrew goes down into this hatch-type situation, losty lost, and we don't know what he's... So, Willow, Buffy, and Spike show up at this kind of Halloween party bonfire that's happening outside of the Hellmouth crater. And Willow realizes that Andrew has gone down into the crater. So, we find out that Andrew, Warren, and Jonathan had all kind of made personality databases for themselves in the event of their deaths so that they could basically exist beyond death. And so Andrew goes down into the hatch and he finds Andrew's database and a vial of Andrew's blood so that he has his consciousness essentially and his DNA. And he puts the flash drive with Andrew's personality into his like Google Glass, and he's talking to Jonathan, sort of like Jonathan's memories essentially. And he tells him, "Oh, I'm going to resurrect you because magic has new rules. The rules haven't really been finished. We're still writing them. I feel bad for killing you, so I'm going to resurrect you." Okay. So he puts the vampire book into this lockbox that is protected from technological and magical detection. So Willow, of course, loses track of the book after Andrew puts it in the box. So then they go down looking for Andrew, and they come upon the secret base that he was in, and they see that he has these blood samples and these other things, and they're like, oh crap, he's going to try and resurrect his best old bestie Warren. Side note, over on Angel and Faith in London right now, Amy is trying to get Angel to help. It's London, it's Magic Town. She's trying to get Angel to help her resurrect her jar of Warren, because Warren went all splat when Buffy destroyed magic. See the site discussion video that I mentioned earlier. So yeah, Warren went all splat because Amy's magic was keeping him together, and she's trying to resurrect Warren over in Magic Town, and they don't know this, obviously. And so Willow, Buffy, and Spike believe that he's trying to resurrect Warren, Andrew is. And, of course, the demon that's killing all these kids at the bonfire shows up to try and kill Buffy because he senses that she's a Slayer, and he's got it out for the Slayer because, you know, some ancient Slayer killed his lady love and him. So they try and fight this guy, and he's big and powerful, and Willow actually uses her magic, and what the demon says is, oh, white magic, goddess magic. That's soul magic, so give me some more because it's making me stronger. So Willow says, okay, I got dark magic. So she uses that on him instead, and it kind of blasts him for a second, and Buffy fights him, but no, he's really powerful. So Willow goes to... The demon gets away-ish. Willow goes to search for Andrew while Spike and Buffy try to... incapacitate this demon. So this puts Buffy and Spike on a little journey of their own, and what they end up doing is they find Spike's old crypt, and they have this whole discussion about their relationship back in season 6 and being brought back from the dead, and how she was using him and she didn't feel alive, and, you know, she just wanted to make herself feel like crap. by being with Spike, and she's like, "Oh, I'm saying this all wrong. I know that's not you. You have a soul now, and I'm just putting my foot in my mouth." And Spike says, I get it. I really do get it. You didn't want to be happy." And she says, "No, I didn't want to be happy." So they're looking around, and of course the demon comes upon them. So, bad news. So we don't know where that's gonna go. But Willow is trying to find Andrew, and so she goes to Warren's grave because she believes that he's trying to resurrect Warren. But he's not there. Andrew is not at Warren's grave to resurrect him. And she actually realizes that the vial of Warren's blood had been smashed. So Andrew's not... He's clearly not on Team Warren anymore. He's on Team Buffy. And she says, well, I can sense that Andrew is trying to do a resurrection spell, and I realize now that it's not Warren because he had smashed the vial of Warren's blood. And so she understands that he's trying to do a resurrection spell because she can feel it, but she doesn't know where. And then we cut to Andrew, who has a magic book and candles all around this headstone, and it is Tara McClay's headstone. Now, do I think that this is a good starting point for new readers? No. Because one of the things that we've been told is that we're not going to have Tara back from the dead. There's a reason we killed Joyce. There's a reason we killed Ginny, so that she'd stay dead. There's a reason we killed Joyce, because she had to stay dead. There's a reason we killed Tara, because she has to stay dead. I understand that there are new rules to magic, but there aren't new rules to Buffy. Tara's dead, and it's sad, and we're supposed to feel that. It's supposed to be sad that Tara's dead. She's supposed to stay dead, because that's how people do. We brought Buffy back, we brought Giles back. That's very different, it's very special. Bringing Tara back from the dead won't happen, shouldn't even be suggested. I understand that Andrew always thinks he's doing something right, but, Robot Buffy wasn't a great idea. And resurrected Tara is just not a good idea. This issue has issues, and honestly, there are so many unanswered questions about this book. This is not a good starting point for new readers. If you want to read the Buffy comics, you need to go back and start reading Season 8, because a lot happens. And really, you should probably go back and watch the latter half of Season 7, at least the last 4 or 5 episodes, and then come into Season 8, because I just feel like there's so much ground that needs to be covered and just simply isn't being covered here. Was it a good issue? Yes, I enjoyed the fact that, we have young Giles in the thick of it, Buffy talking to Spike about their relationship. They've done it, they did it all through Season 9, but, it feels like it's coming from a place of real, genuine stuff. I like that Willow went dark against the demon. He was like, oh, well, your soul magic don't hurt me. And she said, fuck you, I'm dark. I like all that. I don't like the idea that Jonathan and Warren and Andrew had all made cybernetic, imprint technology, memory selves that doesn't... When did these niggas get so smart? Pardon my French if you're offended, I'm so sorry. But when did they get so smart? They were just nerds in Season 6. I don't understand how they could have had this the whole time. It's just like when Warren wasn't dead. There are issues here. And I miss my Joe Chin covers. I don't know if I'm picking up the variant covers by mistake, but I miss my Joe Chin covers from Season 8. I felt like she really captured the likenesses of the characters. And, this tentacly squiddy demon, I'll show him to you. He looks ridiculous. He's neat, but what does he represent, The Buffy villains are supposed to mean something, and he just doesn't mean anything to me. Return to Sunnydale. There is no Sunnydale. Don't call your issue Return to Sunnydale. There is no Sunnydale. You're at the Hellmouth. Call it what it is. This is not a bad issue, and I hate that it sounds like I'm ragging on it, but You know what? Don't advertise something as a starting point for new readers, because even if you just pick this up and you were entertained by it, you still don't know all the context. You like if you didn't read season 8 and season 9, all of this Dawn and Xander stuff just doesn't make sense to anyone. It's and people think that season 8 was bad. I loved season 8. Buffy had so much to do in season 8. The whole world opened up, and it was basically about Buffy being in the comic world, and that's why it was so over the top, because Buffy is meta. Season 9, when she's a robot, it's because it's a metaphor for the comic book, the whole franchise, just being in a robotic state. Good stuff. This stuff that they're giving me in season 10, I enjoyed the first part of I Wish. I Wish Part 2 was just Spander fanfiction. Let's be honest. It was Spander fanfiction. Pillow fight between Xander and Spike. That's why I didn't review that one. I had planned to, but it was just like Spander fiction. I don't need that. I want Buffy. I'm tired of Spike and Buffy and their talking about their relationship. Yeah, it was nice in this one, but what happened to Dowling? I thought that he was going to be a romantic interest for Buffy, and then he just wasn't. And I thought that Spike was going to start working with Dowling. Where's that? There's just so much going on this season, and you know what? I do like that Rebecca Isaacs and Krista Cage are here, but they're not over on Angel and Faith, and Angel and Faith has taken a big dip for me as far as the storytelling and the art. It's no, the last issue, issue 8, which I plan to do for Angel and Faith, it was a much better story. I felt like things are really starting to gear up over there. And granted, with Angel, everything is always more confusing. But like I said, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Season 10, Issue number 8, Return to Sunnydale. It has potential. It has a lot of potential, but mostly I'm just seeing a lot of hoopla that ought not be. I did have a big shock and awe moment when I saw that he was trying to resurrect Tara. At the same time, I don't think Willow would allow for that. It just seems like an excuse to go back to Sunnydale so you can pull this BS starting point for new readers. What new readers? What new readers? If you're a new reader, you need to go back, read Season 8, Issue number 1, The Long Way Home Part 1, and work your way up to Season 10. Okay, I get it. But you can still sell your old comics that go into your sales. Sell those. I don't know. I'm frustrated. I'm really frustrated by this issue and this whole idea. And I think really what's angering me more than anything, oh god, I'm making another long video, is that it just claims to be a starting point for new readers, and it's not possible. Have a great day. Like, comment, subscribe, question. Peace.